Oh, just before we start, guys, please hit subscribe. It means so much to us when you hit subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel, and we're putting out as much quality content as we can. Sometimes when we take breaks is to actually increase the quality of content to bring you videos like this. So if you guys are liking this and the type of videos we're making, please hit subscribe. Please hit the like button as well. And if you enjoy the full video, watch till the end. And of course, share it with a friend. I'll see you guys soon. Enjoy. Yo, guys, part 3 of 25 failures that I had before 25. So number 11, at one point when I was 22 years old, I had a nightclub, and this nightclub was in another nightclub. I've had a few. This nightclub was, let's just say near-ish water, and it was during winter. And, you know, this particular venue historically would experience a significant downturn in patrons. So like people that would come and want to party at this venue at this time of the year historically, right? So year over year, winter was when they were quite weak. So, you know, I work my way in, I get the venue, and I'm like, cool, opportunity. And it was one of our second or third or fourth events, and there was staff there, and, you know, a DJ, I think. And 2 people came the whole night. And of the 2 people that came, they were 2 people that I had a friend of mine in the city say to come to the venue. So this acquaintance, a friend of mine, I told him, hey bro, like, do you have any mates that are coming? And he's like, hey bro, I'll send 2 other people to your event. They rocked up, they had a drink for like 5-10 minutes, 0 other people came in, and they left. And they went to tell that guy, hey bro, the place was terrible. It was trash. And they were right. It was pretty trash. So, you know, that was pretty funny. Number 12. Okay, so I had, look, I'm a young man. Like, things like what I'm about to say happen, not all the time, but they happen from time to time, because men can get, you know, competitive or aggressive sometimes. But I had these 2 friends, and they didn't really like each other. And it was one of my friends, I think it was his 23rd or 22nd birthday. And the other guy was like 24, 25 at the time. They're both like in their later 20s now. And, you know, basically the birthday guy got drunk and started disrespecting the guy that he didn't like. And the guy didn't like him very much. And basically got to the point where... it's going too much into detail. The guy that was getting yelled at, you know, he got quite angry, and he stood up and he started to, you know, make certain remarks that frightened the birthday person. And I actually had to hold him back. And I actually have a scar. You can't really see it. I have a scar. Hold on, I have a scar on the right hand side of my wrist. Can you guys see that line? It's a long line. It's about that long. Okay, it's about this long. Right? So it's about that long on my hand. This scar. You guys can probably see a bit more of it. Anyway, so basically I'm holding him back, and the watch, he had a watch on his wrist. And whilst I was holding him back, he was so angry that I was holding him back, and the part of the watch we can change the time, pushed into my skin, so deep into my skin that to hold him back, it like pierced through my skin. Initially, I didn't even realize straight away. I just thought like, like maybe it was like, you know, like a bit of friction or something. I looked at my hand after the whole situation was calmer, and like, I think the birthday boy left, or that guy that was getting yelled at left. And I think this was even during like the COVID era. So I think that also added to the whole extremity of it or something like that. I'm like 21 at this point. Yeah, I was 21 at the point. They were older. Yeah. So I was 21 and this was happening. And yeah, I ended up bleeding. And, you know, multiple years, 4 years later, the scar's still there. So I wouldn't really say that's a massive failure, but, you know, it's deeply engraved into my skin. And there's other instances like that. I've got a few other scars on my body. Yeah, just 1 second. Guys, if you're liking this video, just hit like and subscribe, because we really appreciate your support. And if you think someone else can benefit from this, then please share it with a friend as well. Okay, so like, comment, subscribe, and back to the video. Speaking of scars, number 13. So, I'm going to speak very vaguely here on purpose. I stayed in not the best roommate situation for too long. I was living in the city for 2 years, and basically, uh, there was an incident. I'm cool with my ex roommate, by the way. I'm cool with him, cool guy. But uh, it wasn't the right environment for me, and I'm gonna keep that one short. I'm just gonna leave that. I think maybe once I get to a certain, maybe once. How about this? Once my agency hits $10 million or $5 to $10 million in revenue, I'll talk about this roommate story. And for those of you that are day ones that are watching this, remind me when the agency's doing $500K to $1 million a month in a year or two or whatever. And remember that Dami said he's going to talk about this story, because I'm not going to talk about it now. But yeah, wasn't in the best roommate situation for too long. And that was a story in and of itself. That was a failure for sure. And I'll explain why when the time is right. Number 14. I didn't vet. Okay, so this one was, this is actually a really big failure, but also just like lesson. I wouldn't even say failure, more just like error. So, for one of my other businesses, a production company, we didn't vet the protagonist well enough on 2 occasions. And on one of the occasions, one of the protagonists for one of the episodes actually blocked me, blocked the other owners of this production company, and blocked the production company. And they said that they basically tried to cancel us, essentially, for not protecting a certain demographic of people, which was really unfair, because we had a chat with this person, screened them, told them the potential outcomes, asked them how they dealt with internet criticism, because we can't control when a big YouTuber or big YouTubers, plural, react to certain content in a way, making comedic remarks. We can't control when comments on TikTok become super viral. And even when we did ask them, what would you like us to limit or control, this person didn't respond. So that was unfortunate, because that was a really good season that we recorded for this production company. And this happened more than once. One of our first few episodes, a similar incident happened, which was a lot more drastic in its virality. But yeah, that just taught me a lesson personally, especially as majority owner of this company, to really screen people correctly, no matter how positive or confident they project. I've gotten better at being able to discern this person is capable of, dealing with, criticism. And you can never completely get that right 100% of the time. But even if I can get it right 80% of the time, that's a better skew compared to 50-50. And that's just something that I had to learn. There's not really too much training per se for, how someone projects themselves to be and how people act when there's a camera in front of them, and potentially, hundreds of thousands, if not multiple million, well, actually many situations, multiple millions of people that end up seeing them all over the internet. So that was a good lesson. I learned a lot from that, and that also definitely matured me a lot as well. All right. Excuse me. This one, if number 15, I lost credibility in an industry for, I'm not going to mention the industry, in a specific industry. So not just a niche, by the way. This is like an industry, okay? For being associated with the wrong CEO that wasn't that competent. Nothing on the CEO. I actually like him, respect him a lot. I consider him a friend. But association bias is real, guys, right? So it didn't position me being in the best light, being involved in this venture with that CEO, because I was very green. I was very new to this specific industry. And this CEO was as well. And he was a hard worker, great guy, great person, great character. But he just wasn't that competent. And, I built up a lot of network internationally in a way, and not even just Australia-wise, internationally, off the back of this venture. So if I could go back and rewrite it, I would build build a lot of those networks off the back of maybe the ventures that I have today. A company with payroll and staff that's dealt with big clients and other businesses. I recently was able to acquire 10% equity in another company recently, just because of the catalog that I have across certain industries. So if I was now able to go back into the industry and say, listen, this is what I've done. I'm not only a business owner with X amount of experience in years and staff and different people and all these big names, but I'm also a shareholder and an owner in these different companies. as a result of my, skill and prowess in such industries, these festivals, these production companies, these other multiple businesses on the low. That's just a stronger offer as a person. But when I was involved in this industry, I was, very, very much still in my very, very, very early stages of even sustaining my first six-figure job. So, I learned from that. What actually got me out of that project was a conversation with a friend of mine who's had more experience in that industry. He said, "Hey, Dami, listen, I would recommend that you exit this business. And that's because you can do better." And I had to hear that. And that's a good friend. And that was a great advice, because I ended up exiting. I did end up exiting that business after about a month to two after discussion with this person. And it was a bit difficult because I did have a lot of respect for that CEO, but it was a good decision long term. And I'm sure that me and that CEO will do ventures together in the future. It was just not appropriate for that venture, especially with the reputation that I'd already built as a marketer and as a salesperson. That probably was not the best addition to my career portfolio per se, but it was still great. I met a lot of great people in it. I've been able to leverage and get access to different interviews for even this channel as a result of me, spreading my wings into that industry. So yeah, the last 5, if you've noticed, I've been purposeful to lack a few details just because some of them are case sensitive. But nevertheless, it just goes to show you guys there's sometimes these nuances that certain people just have that gives them an advantage. And, when I'm talking to business owners, I can talk to them as a business owner, not just a marketer. And that's only because I am a business owner. And it took time to go from solopreneur to company owner. It took time to go from contractor, to solopreneur, right? It took time to go from fired from clothing shops and, quit and fired from multiple marketing agencies to then, be able to make my first 6 figures in corporate at 22, right? So a lot of these experiences I'm summing up, a lot of them happened between 18 to 22. So I lived a lot of what many people would experience throughout their 20s in a boiling pot of 4 years. So by the time I was 23, guys, 200K a year was it just made sense, because it was okay, I got the agency, I made all the mistakes of the agency, all right, solid. All right, I got the corporate stuff, I figured that out, and you're still learning. I'm still learning on the way of it as well. But yeah, that's the last 5 things. If you guys like this, comment. Let me know what your favorite story has been out of this whole series so far. Let me know if you want more of these videos, if you find them relatable, if you think that they're helping you. And hopefully, I can continue to learn and we continue to grow together. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Think mega, guys. Much love. Take care. Hey, guys, listen, it's Dami. Thank you for watching this video. If you got value out of this, then like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to share this with a friend if you think that they can also get value out of this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.